Hello, hi, it's me. If you don't know me, it's me. Welcome, meet me. Hello, you, it's me. This is a video about me and about music. Do you like music? Do you like me? Grab your favorite pair of headphones and let's listen to me talk about music. For today's Headphone Hideaway, we're going to talk about one of my absolute favorite albums from the 1980s, 1986 to be specific, Siouxsie and the Banshees, Tinderbox. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Siouxsie and the Banshees, we're talking about some goth shit today. We're talking about post-punk. We're talking about dark wave. We're talking about gothic rock. Kind of a mixture of all of those things and more, depending on the era of this band that you dive into. This album, Tinderbox, is from 1986, and at this point, Siouxsie and the Banshees already had like a half dozen other releases under their belt, I believe. They started out with a much more minimal post-punk sound on albums such as The Scream, Join Hands, Kaleidoscope, all fucking killer albums. But by the time we get into the mid-80s and Tinderbox comes out, this is a lot more of a polished, like, goth pop rock album, really, than anything else. Has elements of new wave, still has some elements of post-punk and everything that made Siouxsie and the Banshees, but there is a lot more of a polish to this album than anything else they had released to date. I've talked with other fans of the band that kind of are not super into this era of the band. They're kind of loyalists to the early stuff, which I totally get. But for me, personally, this is the cream of the crop in terms of all of Siouxsie and the Banshees discography. I think in terms of the dynamics of the songwriting from being like really good, like moody, dark, proto trip hop in a lot of ways. And then you have tracks like Cities and Dust, which I think is probably the most popular song on this album, that are just like undeniably catchy, like synth pop, new wave, pop rock sort of a thing, but with that Siouxsie and the Banshees sort of just element on it. And overall, this album just fucking, as the kids would say, slaps. And I think from start to finish, it's just a really, really great piece of 80s music, regardless of genre. All of the vocal performances on it from Siouxsie Sioux are fucking killer. Powerful dynamics, great emotion, really cool songwriting, really great lyrics. Musically, I already mentioned, also really, really cool, super dynamic, great bass tones, really cool early synthetic drum sounds, really cool keyboard stuff, great guitar stuff. Like, everything about this album is everything that I love about 80s music, 80s nostalgia for me. This fucking album, 100%. If you've never given Siouxsie and the Banshees a listen, I highly recommend it. I would start with this album. This was the first album of theirs that I honestly fell in love with whenever I finally decided to fall down the rabbit hole. And listening to this album, I worked backwards and it made a lot of the other stuff kind of make sense for me. Like, but that's just my personal thing. Maybe you are more of a post-punk fan. And I mean, chances are, if you're somebody that can say out loud that you're a fan of post-punk music, you probably already listen to Siouxsie and the Banshees. It's kind of like hand in hand. But if you're into dark, pop-driven, rock, electronic, 80s sounding shit, give this album a listen. It fucking rules. It's an awesome album from start to finish. The production's really cool. The songwriting's really cool. It's just fucking great. And I really don't have anything else to say about it. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Peace.